The three skills for a coach is to be organised, motivated, and to have clear communication. To be organised, they have to know the age and amount of participants they're leading the session, so they can possibly change their session plan depending on the participants' abilities or the area you have available to do the session in. You have to make sure that you have all equipment ready or at least planned, so you know what you need to use for it. To be motivated, the coach needs to make sure that the activities that they have planned for the participants are challenging but achievable, so that the participants are motivated to do them to achieve in the sport. Also, coaches sometimes need to cheer on the players from the sideline or when in the dressing room if something isn't going to plan. If the sports performers are motivated, performances tend to be improved. Communication. There are two types of communication that coaches use in their sessions: verbal and non-verbal communication. In verbal communication, the coaches need to use simple language so that the participants will stay focused and take in what you're saying. They should regularly ask questions so they know that the participants are focused and know that what you are talking about. There are different types of nonverbal communication, such as body language and demonstrations that coaches use when leading sessions. Most of the time, coaches use body language without thinking to maybe show a player where and when to make the correct runs on the pitch. Also, demonstrations are massively used because it allows the participants to visualize what you want them to do on the field. This is used a lot when the team is learning/using different tactics in training to perfect them before going into a game. The knowledge that is required for coaches is tactics, a range of sport activities to challenge and develop performers, and components of fitness for different sports. For tactics, it is when the player/team uses skills and strategies to try and win the game. The coach needs a good understanding of tactics in their sport so that they can apply it correctly in game situations. Also, if the players realize that the coach knows what they're doing, the players will feel comfortable in following that tactic. A range of sport activities to challenge and develop performers. This is using a range of activities when leading a session, which allows the coach to challenge the participants so that they can improve their technique or overall performance in that sport. Components of fitness are for different sports. If a coach has an understanding of the component of fitness and what sport needs which ones, then they will be able to plan their session around those depending on which component of fitness a team or participant needs to improve. The best practice for a coach. This is DBS, a risk assessment, and administration for coaching. So, disclosure and borrowing service is a type of safeguarding that when working with children, the employer/child's parents know that they will be safe when under their care/supervision. The DBS form checks if the coach/potential coach has any criminal record or any other reason why they cannot work with children. A risk assessment requires the coach to look at any potential risks that there could be when using the chosen equipment, the facility you are in, or the environment around you. This will help remove any potential risk or harm that you or the participants have during the session, so that if you are hurt by any of them, you know the procedure to deal with that problem. Administration for coaching. This is where you need to keep all of your session plans and records of attendance together. Also, consent forms must be kept. The coaches must have insurance cover for any session that they lead. So if was an injury to occur in your session, the insurance may ask you to see your session plans to see if you are at fault or not for the injury. Another reason to keep your session plans and attendance records is for that. Qualities of a coach. This is enthusiasm, positive role modeling, and adaptability. The coach needs to show passion and love for the sport when they are coaching, showing enthusiasm. This allows participants to bounce off that enthusiasm to feel motivated to do the sport, and they will see the fun in doing it. Positive role modeling is when the coach needs to set a good example to the participants when leading the session by demonstrating good language and behaviour. This will be needed more if you are delivering a session to younger children, as they will copy what you are doing more than older participants. Adaptability is where coaches need to be able to find solutions to problems quickly so their session can run smoothly and that they can get the most out of the time they have available to them. This could be finding solutions to any risks or finding an alternative venue to lead the session if one place is fully booked. Methods to support performers is feedback and goals and smart targets. Feedback is essential for sports performers to improve and to keep their motivation and love for the sport, as they know what they needed to do and what they hadn't done very well previously. Sandwich feedback is used by a lot of coaches as they start with what you did well, followed by what you could improve on, which is constructive criticism, then to round it off with something positive again. This is good for any level of athlete as it keeps them focused on their performance so they can review it in training but still feel motivated and enthusiastic within the sport. Goals and smart targets. Smart targets mean that any target or goal that you set has to be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time related. This means performers know exactly what they have to do to improve to achieve their goal and possibly surpass it. Also, it keeps them focused as some performers can be distracted and not follow their training program to achieve their goal, which may mean that they don't improve their performance in sport. Useful technologies that coaches can use with their participants are video analysis software, GPS trackers, and lab-based testing. Video analysis software is where they are used to observe your performance, which allows you to look at what you do well and what you can improve in your technique to improve your overall performance in sport. However, video analysis can be expensive and it requires a lot of training to work well, so you can compare each training session you record to see your improvements. A GPS tracker is a vest that players can wear when they train or when they are in a game. It records your heart rate during your performance and it records the distance you cover so you can look back on your performance to see where you need to improve. Lab-based testing is where performers can go through several tests to examine their fitness levels, which can then be used to improve their performance in sport. Also, it can be used for sports research to see what methods can be used to enhance athletes' performances. Sport supportive professionals in sport can be sports masseurs, strength and conditioning coaches, and a physiotherapist. This is a sports masseur is someone who uses massage to rub and manipulate muscles to relieve stress, tension, and pain. They usually work on athletes when they are injured or and at elite level before and after a match or training session. Strength and conditioning coaches helps people avoid injury by using exercise to make their body more suited for their chosen sport. This increases their performance levels as they are more suited to do well in sport. Physiotherapist is someone who gives athletes exercises and movements to strengthen an injury when recovering. This is called rehabilitation, so that the athlete can get back to full health and performance levels as quickly as possible.